Hey everyone, how is everyone doing? I am doing this podcast on Wednesday night, my weekly podcast. I'm sorry, I'm using this phone to do it because, I was trying to fix this stupid computer, you know, for the camera, but it's not recognizing camera and just I didn't want to bring the computer. I have the old Mac from my bedroom, so I'm just gonna do it on this phone. And just gonna do a brief one. I'm sorry. I'm sort of like depressed, really. Why, sir? What happened? I've been depressed for the past couple of days. Obviously, primarily because my wife is not here. Well, yeah, she hasn't been here yet for some time, sir. I guess it's just getting a real toll on me that she and I are supposed to be together. This is the time for us. You know, and this is her home. This apartment is my home, her home. And just that makes me depressed, kind of sad. And she's not here. You know, and and then I was talking to a friend the other day. Was that yesterday, or day before? And his wife and kids, I don't want to name the names, but so he got the good news that his wife and kids have now the interview date, right? And then that also kind of, I mean, I spoke with him and I congratulated him and all that, right? And obviously it's a good, real good news. Poor guy has been here for 10 years and hasn't seen his kids or wife, right? And then after I spoke with him, then I just got depressed, again. I'm like, why is my wife's interview not being scheduled? And actually, I just sent an email to my lawyer to see if there's anything new, which I don't think so, because it's not in their, that whole interview thing is not in anybody's hand, to be honest with you. Just that I'm just being too impatient, I guess. And and then this whole idea that I come home again, it is becoming more for me. I feel it more that I come home from work and it just like and just like being lonely and just like I just feel like really I feel like I can't do this anymore. It sucks. uh and then the whole thing with my brother, I don't want to get into details, and just like this is not a good time for me, to be honest with you. I feel, or am I exaggerating too much? No, I think it's probably both. And and now I don't know, I might have to basically schedule for my visit again to Islamabad. If you don't hear anything by holidays, by, let's say, after December 15th, right? And it's just not easy. It's just not easy to be away from your spouse and, uh, you know, 3,000 miles away. I'm from her and she's from me. And, and yeah, I'm really depressed. I'm sorry. I apologize. And I don't know. It has been hard for me, to be honest with you. It has been tough for me that when I think about all these fucking years, 20, 21 years, I've been just by myself, talking to these walls or talking to, whatever, these furniture or just, and that just whole thing is just like taking a real toll on me at this point in time, especially now that I'm married, but she's not here, right? And so yeah, this is just like fucking, it's affecting my mind, and it's not good, I just have to take a lot of deep breaths, I think, and then just tell myself, hey man, you just gotta, like, you gotta be patient, you gotta wait, and I don't know, because we have no freaking idea when her interview will be scheduled, right? And um and uh, and again, without repeating myself, this is her home, this is her home. America, is our first home, and it just makes me kind of sad that she's not here. I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound like kind of down for the obvious reasons, right? Uh, what else is going on? Can we change the subject? I'm sorry. I don't know. I just picked up some food and I just had some, and then I woke up really late. I was just fucking depressed and I just shut myself down for like 20 hours, whatever, 24 hours, slept and just like shut myself away from like everything. And then I felt bad that I wasn't picking up my wife's phone. And I think my phone was dead, and that's the other fucking problem. Battery on this iPhone is just like not good because this is an old one, right? But in any case, yeah, I cooked some eggs and I picked I picked some potatoes as well. Those diced potatoes from the frozen section, and then I had that with egg whites. And then I just had some pasta as well. Like and then some chicken, and it's not easy. It's not fucking easy to live. All of a sudden I'm realizing, all of a sudden I'm realizing that, man, I mean, I deserve to be with her and she deserved to be with me. She's more patient, obviously, as opposed to, my impatience and my just, it just makes me depressed. I'm pretty sure it makes her depressed too, but she doesn't show it. Probably, I don't know. However, However, it's life. It's life, and I just feel bad that she probably thinks that I'm just like not talking to her. And what else? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just fucking depressed, and I'm not gonna do a whole hour long podcast that I usually do, right? And 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 yeah, I'm kind of disappointed, with the whole process because even my lawyer, I thought that when I spoke with her, even before our engagement, right? And marriage, obviously, because I didn't know that, okay, so the visa application would take like a year for approval and everything, right? Almost 8 months, 9 months, right? But then after that, the interview scheduling can also take like so many fucking months. So that kind of disappointed me, and I didn't get the whole information. That this was what the process was, right? And And I'm just hoping that this whole Middle East war, doesn't have an impact, negative impact on this, So, yeah, that's my kind of like depressing, sort of like these days, sort of my story, And I just feel bad that we talk on the phone. Yeah, she and I talk on the phone on the video and all that, right? But I just feel like she should be here, right? And that's just not, that's just not. I don't know. It just. In any case, I'm sorry. I apologize. All right, can we change the subject? Maybe you can talk about something else, something positive. I don't know. I don't know what's there out there to talk about positive in this fucking world, huh? Uh, I don't know. I mean, kind of shut myself, from the world, but then you can't really shut yourself away or shut yourself off of the fucking world because you still have news. Whatever gadget you open, your computer or this TV I have in front of me, right in the living room. Even like you open like fucking YouTube or even I was just listening to Joe Rogan, obviously. And I think I kind of feel bad for myself that what kind of life is this, man? You know? And I'm like, fuck this, why did I suffer for too fucking long just like being miserable, And maybe that's just surfacing now, in my fucking head. I have no fucking idea. But I think that the best would be to basically keep talking to people, my friends. I don't have a lot of friends, but it helps, I think, that you talk to people. Don't shun yourself from the world, man, because that's not good. And and I'm pretty sure, many of you feel, whoever is listening to my podcast, I don't know, that sometimes in life, just it becomes a bitter experience. And I feel like I have had this bitter experience for over years and years and years, some of my own making, and the society, the Western society. I think I talk about this all the time, and it's just a fucking not a good combination, not a good combination. What was that? I feel it now more, I guess, because after I went to mountains, right? I went back to mountains, and obviously I got married, and then I went back this year, right? Spent some time with my older buddies. I mean, from my childhood memories, right? And my cousins, and now I'm just back to this fucking lonely, fucking sort of like individualistic life, just coming to an apartment, by yourself every fucking day, and that yeah, this just takes a toll. This takes a toll, on people, and I feel it more now than ever before, because before I think it was just something that I had just accepted that this is my life. So yeah, not easy. It's not easy, man. Life can be hard. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not, my life is not as hard as, for example, some of you probably are going through some real shit in your lives. Whatever you're going through, hopefully, you are in a good place in life. because I feel like I'm not, I'm just not happy, obviously. And just the satisfaction, the satisfaction of life is not there. And then it just fucking gets you. Life is just not hunky and dory, for many of us, you know. And and I just feel like, I'm not young enough or young to say, oh, you know what, it's okay, I can wait many more years, right? Until, me and my significant other, get together and, start our life here in this country. I just don't have that luxury, unfortunately. But in any case, we have to live life. I think we have to live life. We gotta live life. That's what it is. No matter what happens, right? So, what else is going on, huh? Well, is there anything positive we can talk about, huh? I don't know. I was thinking about like doing a podcast to debunk two things, you know, one for each, right? Debunk one, the aliens, right? And debunk this whole craze with fucking AI, right? People are just getting out of their fucking mind saying that, oh, AI is taking over and this is going to basically just take over the world and it's just going to consume us or something to the effect of like Terminator. That may happen, but not now, you know, not now, not fucking now. And it's just like people, I don't know, people are just fucking worked up when it really doesn't affect them. People talk about like Chat GPT, right? What Chat GPT? Chat GPT is not even fucking up to date to this day. If you ask Chat GPT, right? It's an online thing, and ask it for some information, right? And sometimes I try to use it as like a Wikipedia, right? And it tells you I don't have information after like 2000 December 2021. It's not even fucking updated, right? It's not even updated. And I'm like, what the fuck? These guys are talking about? Oh, this thing is gonna take over? What? How? You know? So the whole thing is just like blown out of proportion, I think. Just like fucking, other things that get exaggerated, right? Like what, sir? Well, I mean, climate change sort of is exaggerated, right? That all the fucking cities are going to go under, right? In what, 10 years? No, that I mean, I mean, I'm not denying climate change. I think there is some aspect of that there. However, it's not going to happen right away. It's not going to like fucking destroy the cities, within 5 years or 10 years or whatever these people are saying, right? But in any case, am I going to be thrown out of fucking YouTube for saying this? All right. In any case, so 20 minutes already, and I'm using my phone, and I don't want to use my phone's memory, doing my podcast, but I just wanted to do this for the sake of it, right? For the sake of doing my weekly podcast. So I'm just gonna like I'm depressed. I'm sorry. I'm just fucking depressed, and so I'm just going to like I don't know. It's already 11:40. on a Wednesday night, and I'm just gonna go watch a movie or show, and then just like pass out. And and yeah, and I'm gonna try to get some sleep. Hopefully, I can get some sleep. Because if you don't get sleep, enough sleep, your body just like becomes tired, and I become grumpy, and it just becomes hard for me, which is normal, right? For us humans to get enough rest to our body, give enough rest to our minds, and whatever, through our circadian rhythm, right? A friend of mine who just came from Japan, he was talking about how his whole circadian rhythm is messed up because of the jet lag and all that, right? Time difference. And yeah, I understand because I traveled, and you just have to adjust. I just have to adjust to the new fucking clock. And the other thing that makes me depressed, I think, okay, so the three things, right? I wanted to say three things kind of like make me depressed. One is obviously my wife is not with me, right? Second is again related to that I have to come home, talk to my own fucking self, or just watch podcasts and listen to these comedians or whatever, right? And then I work. I was actually working. I was working on a couple of proposals, and I was working on some drawings because I had shut myself for the past 20 hours, so I have that all that backlog of work, and I'm like, all right, so yeah, those are two things, right? And what's the third thing, sir? The winter. Well, yeah, it's nature. I understand that it's nature, but then the problem is that if you, I mean, my hobby is playing golf right now. I can't fucking play golf because I think tomorrow weather is nicer, right? I think it's the 60s. But then the weekend is like fucking cold, 40s, right? And you can't play. Well, some people do play. Let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. If it's not that cold, maybe I can play, because that's the only hobby I have. What else? I mean, what else? Oh yeah, all you out there do you would say, oh, you live in America, man. But what's the problem? Well, this is the problem. You know, what can you do? Like you just like fucking just like everything becomes like a routine, and it just like a fucking same thing, and that's what makes me kind of depressed. And then now into winter, right? Long fucking nights, you know, and and uh, and then the state of the fucking world. Although I shouldn't, that those should be the last things for me to be actually depressed, right? Last fucking reasons. I don't give up. To be honest with you, I just feel bad for people who are suffering. But other than that, to be honest with you, it's my own. I have to deal with my own sufferings and all that, right? As we all have to do. I mean, our well-being, our own well-being is very important, and our well-being depends on our state of mind, and our state of mind obviously can be affected by external things, right? Such as what I just told you guys. And these things can just affect your life so much, man, to a point that you just become like depressed, you know So I'm sorry. I apologize. What are the movies? Any movies? Any good movies I can watch tonight? Huh? Anything good? Something at least? Huh? I've been watching that show, right? The the Burn Notice. That's an old fucking show. Set in Miami. Miami. Uh, Speaking of which, actually, I'm going to Lauderdale with my friend, and December 15th to 17th, because I don't know. I think every one of us needs a break, and depending on whether I have to go to Islamabad, to see my wife, around that time or after that. At least we're gonna play some golf down there. Miami at that time, not Miami, Fort Lauderdale, right, which is basically like an hour north of what's that, hour and a half north of Miami, right? At least we can play some fucking golf and and then what, sir? Then you're gonna come back here and become more depressed. Is that what it is? I don't know. This whole thing with again, because I'm sorry, I'm babbling. I know, I'm sorry. I apologize. The whole thing, we were going to make plan, me and my wife, you know, at least like stay for 3 weeks in some nice, warmer place, warmer than New York, right? And especially after the holidays, because after holidays it just becomes even more depressing here, cold, and if it snows, then it's going to be like, oh my fucking god. So I was hoping that she'll be here before that, so we can make some plans to maybe stay down there in Florida, you know, work remotely, right? And and I'm still, keeping my fingers crossed, so so we can still make that plan, and she comes here by then, and yeah, just pray for us, man. Pray for us, you know. And wish us the best of luck. And I appreciate all of you out there. I know you do, because every time I talk to every one of you, my cousins, my friends here, they ask me about my wife and when is she coming, and then it's like, I don't know, man. you know but in any case, all right, enough of like this sad podcast. I'm sorry, I apologize, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Sometimes you gotta show your emotions. And one thing that I gotta say is that this whole thing with my brother, and then and then me and my wife being away, it just has just made me so fucking depressed, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is not an easy time for me, to be honest with you. It's not an easy time for me, so I have to basically make sure that I hold myself together, you know, and I sleep on time, I eat on time, all that jazz, of life, you know. All right. So what the hell I was talking about before I sign off? It's already half an hour. All right. So it's already half. Okay. So what are the movies? Are there any new movies, new like blockbusters that I can watch? I was watching. I don't know why I was watching that Avatar 2.0, right? And it's not even as good as the Avatar, the first one, right? And yeah, there are no fucking movies coming out either. There are no shows. I don't like the shows that are now on the Hunger Games. I don't like those shows. I don't like the shows which are set up in like fucking old times, like 6th century, whatever the hell it is, right? Or even before, right? Is that what? I have no freaking idea. Am I just like, shooting like arrows in the fucking dark without even like understanding when is that show like set up? What's the timeline? Huh? No fucking idea. Not into that. All right, I'm not into those fucking goons and goblins and all that. I'm not into that. All right. All right. So I think that's it. I'm just gonna sign off. I'm sorry. I know I'm depressed, and I hope you all understand me, and I hope you all are, good in your lives, in your work, and in your relationships and everything, because these three things, work, relationship, and what's the other one? World. These things basically are what affects our everything, and you have to be in some compromise sort of like situation where you are satisfied, you are happy to an extent, right? But in any case, I hope you guys are, at least, I'm not in a good place right now, but hopefully, hopefully things will be better, things will be better. Because again, I think I'm feeling it more, me being alone than ever, because I spend time and I travel to mountains, and and then being with my wife. I think it's kind of natural, right? All right, everyone. That's my podcast, and I will see you all next time.